Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces Q&A. I'm your host, Heather Ferris, and on today's episode, we're going to learn what the minimum amount required is in order to be player banker. And contrary to popular belief, you don't need a ton of money in order to be banker. As the player banker, you need enough money to cover the bets of the individual players, including the dealer, of course. How is this amount determined? Is it determined by the amount initially bet by each player for that round? Or is it determined by the maximum amount a player is allowed to bet and multiplied by the number of players at the table? For example, 5 players, including the dealer, $200 table max. Must the player banker have at least $1,000 plus a 5% commission to be the player banker? You are correct. The player banker must have enough money to cover all of the bets on the table. And that amount is determined by the sum of all of the players' active bets for that round only. For example, if there are 4 other players that are all betting $10 each, then you'll be required to have $40 to cover them all. You also have to cover the house bet, which is the amount wagered by the dealer against the player banker. The house bet is typically the same amount that you wagered on your previous hand. Therefore, you can control the total amount of the house bet. For example, if you bet $20 on your last hand and then decide to be the player banker on the following hand, then the dealer will put up a house bet of $20. Now, taking all the scenarios that we just used, if you decided to be player banker, then you would need a minimum of $60 to play. How did I get $60? $40 would be for the other 4 players, and $20 would be for the house bet. As for commission, all of the players pay their commission to the house, regardless of who the player banker is. See, just like banks, casinos will charge you a fee for allowing you to play around with their money before taking it all back. That does it for today's show. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments section below. Is there anything about the player banker that confuses you? Have you ever played as the player banker in a casino? What did you think about that? Thanks for watching this episode of Vegas Aces Q&A, and thanks especially to our patrons at Patreon. If you want to help us keep making episodes like this, then please go to patreon.com/VegasAces to learn more.